So the decisions that we need to make in biosecurity are not only numerous, they're also really complex. We often have big knowledge gaps about the pest. We don't know how it'll react to a new environment, how far it might spread, and what the right management actions might be. In addition to this, we have to consider the local conditions, the social factors and the environmental factors, things like what the weather's likely to be or what the local farming practices are. We also have to be very practical in our approach. We need to consider logistics, staffing and resourcing to make sure that our management actions are implementable. For example, during the recent outbreak of tropical race 4 Panama disease in far north Queensland, our biosecurity officers on the ground had to make decisions about things like how often to change the footbaths so that their decontamination process was effective for them leaving that particular infected property. Whereas at the same time, we had people in high-level policy positions having to make decisions about what the impact of the pest might be on the national and state economies and how they might be able to reduce some of those impacts. We're also moving towards a model of shared responsibility for biosecurity. This means that stakeholders become involved in the decision-making process. While this is really great for making better and more robust decisions for biosecurity, it also makes that decision-making process more complicated. We now have more people involved in the decision-making process, and they bring with them their own points of views and values. So to deal with some of this complexity, our project is developing a series of guidelines and tools to help decision makers make better decisions. Some of these tools will be simple things like checklists or decision frameworks, decision trees, whereas other tools will be more complicated, things like Bayesian networks and more structured modelling. In order for this project to be effective, we've had to include scientists from a wide range of different backgrounds. I personally have come from a decision-making background and a decision science background, but we also have people like plant pathologists, policy officers, and people who work on the ground in biosecurity, assisting with this project to ensure that it fulfills all the needs of all decision makers in biosecurity. I think that bringing in shared responsibility is really going to change things quite significantly for biosecurity in Australia. I've done a lot of research into trying to find other countries that include shared biosecurity arrangements, and it's really only Australia and New Zealand who are taking this next step forward towards shared biosecurity, and so I think we're really at the forefront of the biosecurity world. We hope that the project will be able to eventually provide better decision-making structures and better decisions, make our decisions more transparent as well as more equitable, and will provide a better relationship between government and industry, providing better outcomes for all stakeholders.